Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Chow with Lau. My name is Michael Lau and today I'm going to be showing you how to make aubergine or eggplants in garlic sauce. So this recipe is going slightly more down the traditional Chinese route, and by that I mean you're more likely to find this on Chinese family dinner tables as well as good Chinese restaurants. Okay, and I'm going to be doing the vegetarian version. You can add meat to this at the stir fry stage, but there is so much flavour in this. Honestly, you won't miss it even if you're a hardcore carnivore like me. Now, with aubergines, oh, did you know, by the way, the aubergine is a relative of the tomato. Fun fact, I just asked Alexa that a bit earlier. Right guys, so I'm going to be using 2 aubergines for this recipe. I'm going to call them aubergines because that's what I'm used to. Eggplant, aubergine, they're the same thing, right? So after washing them, I'm going to top and tail them. And then we're going to cut them into sort of 1.5 inch segments, after which we can slice them into sort of like batons, taking out the core because that's where the seeds are. So we're ending up, actually, do you know what, let's do it a little bit finer. We're looking to get sort of little batons like that. So you're going to end up with a pile of aubergines like this. It's important to note that you should prepare the aubergines as close to the cooking time as possible because they oxidize really quickly. So don't chop these up before you need them. You need to do that immediately before you cook them. Right guys, so the next step is to steam our aubergines. Okay, so I've put some water in the bottom of this wok with a kind of a trivet, then I'm going to put a lid on top and we're going to steam for 15 minutes. Now this should give us a nice soft aubergine, but not so it goes to mush. We don't want it to go to mush. Soft, tender, but not mush. 15 minutes. So I've got a couple of large field mushrooms here. You can use shiitake mushrooms or whatever kind of mushrooms you like, as long as they got some size to them, because you don't want them melting away in the sauce. Pick these because they're nice and chunky, and I'm going to cut them up nice and chunky. I'm also going to use an orange pepper. I love orange peppers because they're very sweet. Again, going to cut them up quite chunky. Also got about half a medium onion here again. Chunkily cut. Chunkily cut. Is that a word again? I'm making up words today, guys. You can see a theme going on. You can see a theme going on here. So I'll put the biggest chunks of vegetables on one plate so we can organise this easier when we go to the stir fry. Being that this is a garlic sauce, there's going to be a fair bit of garlic. I've got 6 cloves of garlic here. Bash them up and chop finely. I'm going to use 1 medium chilli in this recipe. I don't want it to blow your head off, so I'm just going to use something that's kind of medium. It's not very spicy. Generally, the bigger the chilli, the less spicy it is. So you can tell from this one it's not that hot. That's a general rule. Doesn't always work like that, so be careful. But I do know, as a matter of fact, that these are not that spicy, so perfect. Just going to finely chop them. I'm going to keep the seeds in, knowing that they're not actually going to be that hot. Right guys, so I'm going to cut off about a thumb-sized piece of ginger here. I'm just going to take away the gnarly bits, but I keep getting told off by my mum for taking the peel off because apparently you don't have to. So I'm gonna finally chop this with skin on. I guess with ginger, it's one of those things, we're not actually really eating it. The pieces are still there, and the Chinese way is to accept that they're going to be there and either just chew it and swallow it or pick them out, I guess. For anybody who doesn't know, I was born in the UK. Yeah, that's all I need to say, I think, about that matter. And finally, for the veggies, I'm going to use 3 stems of spring onion, green onion, or scallions, whatever you want to call them. Take the root off. And then we're just going to cut them on the diagonal into little pieces. And we're going to add this at the end of the cooking, so we've still got a nice bit of crunch to them. Also adds a lovely bit of freshness to the whole thing. So I'm going to put those on a separate plate so we're organised. Right guys, it's time to make up our sauce. For that, I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. If you're going to go totally vegetarian on this, you can use veggie versions of oyster sauce. I think they're made out of mushrooms. Best check that out, guys. And then I've got 1 tablespoon of yellow bean sauce. Now, I've had questions about this from guys or people from the US who don't know what yellow bean sauce, probably because they market it slightly different. I've done some research and I believe it's actually ground bean sauce. Check it out, guys, have a look for it. If you're in the States, ground bean sauce. In the UK, you can find it in Chinese supermarkets as yellow bean sauce. To this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of black vinegar. Now you can use whatever vinegar comes to hand. Rice vinegar is good, malt vinegar will work. This black vinegar has a few more flavourings in it, which just adds to that umami layer, which I really like. It's a subtle difference, but it will add something to it. So if you've got it, use it. If you haven't, that's fine. Finally, an option, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of Shaoxing rice wine. Again, totally optional. It's just a little bit extra, isn't it? Give it a bit of a stir, mix all those ingredients together. And what we're getting here is the desired taste of a little bit of sweetness, a lot of umami, that lovely kind of almost unquantifiable savoury taste, sharpness from the vinegar, and of course we're going to get a little bit of chili kick from the actual chilies we're putting in it as well. So savoury, sweet and salty. This is going to be epic. Right guys, hot wok, cold oil, about 2 tablespoons or so of just vegetable oil, corn oil, whatever you got. Get that nice and hot. Starting to smoke already. The first things we're going to add are our flavour ingredients, our ginger, our garlic and our chilies. And why we do this is because we're releasing the flavour straight into the oil, get that opened up. Therefore, when we add the rest of the ingredients, we are imparting all these flavours into those. So now I'm going to add all our chunky ingredients. Keep the heat on quite high. We want this to be fast and furious. We're not going to cook these vegetables to mush either, because Chinese cooking is based on a little bit of bite left in the vegetables, right? So now we're going to add our sauce ingredients. Honestly, the smell is incredible. Look at that. Beautiful. Now that's come to the boil, we're going to add our aubergines. Now remember that when we steamed it, there'll be water in this dish. So you need to have drained that out before. I've just drained it out before I'm putting them in because we don't want to dilute the sauce we've got in there. We get in there and we give it a quick toss. So, get it sizzling. And now we can add our cornflour, cornstarch with water to create that slurry. And last but not least, our spring onions. And there you go, guys. Aubergine or eggplants in garlic sauce. Get your taste buds ready. Right guys, moment of truth. Check it out. Check it out. Is it focusing? Check it out. Right guys, moment of truth. Nice chunk of aubergine or eggplant. Oh my god. That is absolutely delicious. The first thing you notice is that little bit of spice from the chili. It's not overpowering, it's just nice, it's warm. And sweetness from the sugar. The little tang from the vinegar. And all the umami from the rest of the ingredients, the garlic, the ginger. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. It's such a simple dish, and yet the flavours are so wonderful. You know, who knew you'd catch me again having vegetarian food? Sorry, that is really funny to me, but it's great. It's amazing. You can pick up these peppers. My, and the ginger, yeah, so nice, so healthy. It's such a wholesome dish, but the flavours are just absolutely amazing. It's not what you call, if you're from the West, it's not a mainstream dish, but it should be. It's healthy, it's economical. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals from all the vegetables. There's no meat, so we're helping the planet as well. It's such a win-win recipe. You've got to make this. You know, with my preferences, I always go for the meat generally, or the fish, the prawns, that sort of thing. But this has got me really thinking that I should be eating more food like this. And there's no penalty for it. It's just so lovely. I could have this very often indeed. Beautiful, part of a family dinner as a standalone main course. It's fantastic. Beautiful. I don't miss the meat. I really don't. I mean, let me find some mushroom. I mean, there's always mushrooms. Mushrooms are great instead of meat. It's still chunky. You get a bite out of it. Absolutely wonderful. What more could you ask for? I'm in literal food heaven. This is amazing. And for a meat eater like me to say that about a vegetable dish, that is something special. So please guys, try it and give me some feedback. Leave me some comments below. And please don't leave the video without giving us a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do that. I know you get used to people asking for these things, but it really helps the channel. If you like what I do, it's just a small token of telling YouTube that I'm doing something a little bit right, okay? If you think I'm doing things a lot right, there's always a super thanks button underneath the video. You can donate small quantities of money if you so wish. But the most important thing is you've watched it, and for that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much guys. Make this dish, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.